I've been asked many times why do I fly these weird looking things without tails. Now I have been flying since 1949. I used to use escapement, so I know what performance is. The advantage in a Simitar is, first of all, no stall. Will not stall, so that we get the wide speed range. We can go, I don't know how fast I can go, but we never get any Dutch roll with too much power. Wide speed range, it's very directional. It stays in any mode you put it in. You want to do a turn, nick a little aileron and fly. And it'll do 360s all day long. It'll loop by itself if you ask it to. It's so stable. Again, my 2-year-old granddaughter can hold a transmitter while I go get a cup of coffee. Anybody can fly it. It works well and does a great job. And well, when you see the flying tape, you'll see evidence. So.
Hi everybody, I'm Marty. This is my son Matt. We've been in the RC model airplane business for quite a while. Matthew, when did you start?
2010.
I've been doing it for over 35 years. And we're going to do a little tribute today to a man named Bill Evans who came up with a aircraft called the Simitar. And he was quite an innovator. Bill came up with this design of the flying wing, and the stability is really well. The flight envelope of the airplane is from slow to fast. They handle extremely well. They track really well. Really easy to fly and extremely easy to build. Bill had a couple unique things that he came up with, and one is the upper reflex wing. The upper reflex wing is designed to have more lift toward the rear of the wing than the front. And you can see on the sides of it how the swept motion of the wing is. It's got a real high center, way up toward the leading edge. So the center of gravity of it is also real close to the leading edge. The majority of the lift being created in the rear. He also used this taper type wing where it's kind of like a swept wing. And the idea was when the plane is in a motion like this, this angle of attack, it gives it much better stability than if it were straight. However, he did do quite a few constant chord wings, which we'll get into later. We're going to kind of do a tribute to him and go through all the different planes he designed. The one thing Bill really wanted to do with this series was to let people have a lot of fun. And we sure have over the years with these, haven't we?
Yeah.
We have built so many different variations. We're going to, like I said, we're going to go through each and every one that we have and have been through. And also, a lot of guys over the years have incorporated his same idea. If you look at the flight test Goblin, you'll notice the same upper reflex wing. The only difference is he did not complete it on the bottom. It's kind of a flat bottom, but it's an upper reflex wing with a rear taper. So the flight test Goblin is very similar to a Bill Evans Simitar. Matthew at one point had the honors of talking to Bill. How did that go?
I talked to Bill Evans on the phone. He had a lot of talk about the Wright brothers. He talked about their canard and stuff and how he tried to make planes safer than what they intended to have. He talked about the stabilizers and how they affect the airplane with the stalling motion, but the Simitar doesn't do. At that time, I asked him if he was still flying airplanes, and he said he was flying his original gliders. That he did Simitar gliders, which he made in the early 60s, were the original Simitar gliders. And that's what he was flying at that time. I sent him 2 pictures of my Simitar Advantage, and he autographed the back side of it, and his famous saying was "tight turns." And unfortunately, the picture wasn't in a picture frame or anything. It kind of got wore off the back, but I was fortunate enough to have that for a while.
And do you remember when you called Bill and he answered the phone and you said, is this Bill Evans? And what did he say?
He said, "I sure hope so."
He was quite the character, Bill was. If you watch any of his videos, he has quite a few videos on YouTube. He took what he was doing very serious. And the one thing that he's impacted the hobby greatly for us is it's very easy to scratch build his planes. And it's we've had so much fun not only building them but flying them. And Matthew and I had two advantages. He had original white and gold, which he flew, oh God, I don't know how many hours. It was just a lot of hours. And him and I had a mid-air collision, not once with the advantages, but twice. And in one instance, his advantage, the whole tail got ripped off. It had no rudder. It was just the stub of the back of the aircraft.
My fuselage was split down the side.
Completely split down the side. He flew it in and landed it. They're amazing, amazing airplanes. And they don't stall. If you pull their nose up and you get the angle of attack just right, where a normal airplane would stall and fall off to the side, these just simply dip their nose and continue forward. We have tried, in a lot of cases, Matthew particularly has tried to keep the integrity of the Bill Evans design. In effect, he uses mostly all K&B engines, which Bill, I think, used because he lived in California, and I think K&B must have been in his backyard because just about everything he had a K&B in it. Periodically, you'd see one with an OS in it, but he really did everything from ducted fans to pushers to you name it. He
had some of the first electric Simitars.
Yeah, and in fact, any of his designs, if you look them up, they're on Outer Zone, they're on Aerofred. There are plans available from the AMA. He had a lot of plans published. And I encourage anyone to give one a try. I'll tell you, I'm really looking forward to doing a little bit on this series. I really am, because it's impacted us so much in this hobby. And Matthew and I have had so much fun with it. I'm really excited to do this. And we're going to go through each plane kind of individually and spend just a short period of time talking about it and giving a little history on it. And then hopefully we'll have some good flight videos up on them. Because I'm telling you, this is the heart and soul of the hobby right here, and we've had so much fun with it, and hopefully you will too.
As you know, the Saracens were the infidels who fought the Crusaders in the Holy War, and the power of the Saracen was his sword, called the Simitar.